Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now, as promised in my previous video, today we are going to be going over the Qatari state visit to the UK, hosted of course by the King, and the banquet. Especially last night, King Charles hosted this glittering state banquet in Buckingham Palace, and the BBC has put out an article revealing the banquet menu, so we're going to be having a look at that as well, having a chat about what the King and the Qataris got up to. Today they went to the Sandhurst Military Academy, for example, where the Emir of Qatar previously trained a while back. And also, I'm going to be showing you some clips of King Charles's speech as well, because there was this amazing moment where he spoke in Arabic as well, and the Emir seemed to find it quite amusing. So this was a wonderful state visit overall. The Emir has just left, and his wife have just left to go back to Qatar as of the recording of this video. So yes, a good load of things to go over today. So first I'll start with the banquet, because I'm sure you're all itching to know what was on this menu. So of course, a little bit of background: the King during his speech at the banquet was highlighting the Gulf states' role in negotiations in the Gaza conflict and the return of Israeli hostages. He said he praised them for their tireless mediation efforts over the past year in the pursuit of peace, with this diplomatic red carpet being rolled out for the quite wealthy country which has strong business and military ties in the UK. Queen Camilla, who revealed she has been recovering from a form of pneumonia, and I did see something about pneumonia taking sometimes a while to be diagnosed. Sometimes you can have pneumonia but not actually realise, and this may be why Queen Camilla thought she just had a chest infection, but in fact it turned out to be pneumonia. But she did end up attending the state banquet, having missed the outdoors parts of the official welcome a little bit earlier on, but it was nice to see her. She appeared in this lovely red dress with King Charles and senior politicians and the other royal family members. So state banquets, of course, are a centrepiece of state visits to the UK, held in the grandeur of the ballroom of Buckingham Palace with a 4,000-piece dinner service. Sir Keir Starmer, of course, the Prime Minister, was on the top table for the first time, along with the King, the Queen, and the Prince of Wales, Prince William, and as well as the Qatari royal couple, of course. An opposition leader, Kemi Badenoch, was sitting next to David Beckham, who also attended, and there was actually this kind of sweet moment earlier on when he arrived, David Beckham, where he was seen holding hands with his wife Victoria as they arrived. I'll put that picture up in the background as well. And on the tables, there was actually quite some elaborate table settings, and there were also microphones poking out of the flower displays of those speaking on the top table. So all worked quite well. So let's get on to this menu. On the menu was, according to the BBC, a tartlet of Cornish lobster and quail's eggs for the starter, with pheasant wrapped in Savoy cabbage, roasted celeriac puree, and a potato gratin with cheese from Suffolk, truffle sauce, and winter vegetables as a main course, followed by an iced bomb with organic Samoan vanilla ice cream and a Balmoral plum sorbet. So that all sounds wonderful, and note the Samoan theme there. King Charles, of course, recently heading over to Samoa for the Heads of Government meeting, and was honoured with lots of different titles for the being the King and Head of State of Samoa as well. He got some chieftain type titles. It was wonderful to see, going to all of these traditional ceremonies. It was wonderful. So nice to see that there's a kind of Samoan edition in there. King Charles obviously very proud to be representing and head of state of that country. Now, it wasn't just the food menu that the BBC has revealed here, but also the drinks. So each guest had a setting of 5 different glasses next to them, and for those wanting an alcoholic drink, the wine list included lots of fancy wines, and none of which I'll be able to pronounce, but they look very French. Chateau La Tour Blanche is, I presume, a white wine, but yeah, that's one of them, and then a load of different ones. I'll link the article in the description for those wanting to see them, because I definitely can't pronounce all of these. But a renovation project at the palace also means that this will be the last such state banquet held here for the next couple of years, with the next likely to be at Windsor Castle instead. So it was really nice to see that King Charles could make it. Queen Camilla could make it. Of course, King Charles is still undergoing cancer treatment, so it's a wonder that he's able to be up and about doing so many royal visits and hosting state visits as well. It's quite remarkable, really. Queen Camilla attending. Sadly, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, did not attend, but Prince William was there, as well as Princess Anne and some other royals as well. So that was lovely to see, and it will be nice to see kind of a switch up. Windsor Castle, I'm very interested to see how they set that up. King Charles then goes on to welcome the Emir, praise the country's mediation efforts in the Middle East, as I said, with the King saying, "In the most desperate of circumstances, Qatar's continued toil, perseverance and diplomatic efforts are quite simply invaluable. A champion of building bridges between religions," the King quoted from the Quran as well. He said, "Whoever saves a life, it will be as if they saved all of humanity." And then he quoted from the Bible saying, "Blessed are the peacemakers." Here's that clip.
As the Quran says, whoever saves a life, it will be as if they saved all of humanity. And as the Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
In response, the Emir did a little speech praising the King's efforts for interfaith dialogue and said the UK and Qatar are not only friends, but partners. State visits, of course, being a mix of elaborate ceremony and also practical politics, offering hospitality on this grand scale to important international partners, and then soft power with parades and chandeliers, and then you get down to the hard talk behind the scenes as well. I'm sure there'll be lots of political dialogue going on behind the scenes, but this elaborate state banquet is the main centerpiece. This carefully choreographed effort, the BBC says, to strengthen relations with Qatar began with a ceremonial greeting at Horse Guards Parade, and then a carriage ride along the Mall to Buckingham Palace, and then of course the state banquet in the evening. Today also there was a meeting between the Emir and Keir Starmer at 10 Downing Street for that political side of it. But I wanted to also remember to include this clip of King Charles speaking Arabic and the Emir's reaction. It was very wholesome, so here's that clip.
This evening I am delighted to mark the renewal of our enduring friendship. حياكم مرة أخرى في المملكة المتحدة بلدكم الثاني.
But yes, it really did seem like a good night. So the King was saying in Arabic, "Welcome back to the United Kingdom, your second home." And then he went on to speak of the special bond between the UK and Qatar, which, as he said, was founded on mutual respect, which has stood the test of time. Qatar, of course, has been seen as an important bridge between the West and the Middle East, hosting international events as well, such as the 2022 World Cup, with the UK Foreign Office saying Qatar is a key defence partner, and that trade between the UK and the Gulf state is worth £6.6 billion per year, with £40 billion of Qatari investment in the UK economy as well. There are also close military ties. The UK and Qatar have a joint RAF Typhoon squadron based at RAF Coningsby, the first joint RAF squadron since World War II, so the relations do go fairly deep. I mentioned Catherine didn't make it to the banquet, but she did make it to the official welcome and the carriage procession, which was her first participation in a state visit since the end of her chemotherapy that followed, of course, her cancer diagnosis, but then she sadly didn't go on to make it to the banquet in the evening. The Queen had pulled out of the welcome at Horse Guards, and she continued to suffer from the effects of the pneumonia, telling the guests at the state visit that her chest infection had been a form of pneumonia which has now cleared, but she still suffers from post-viral fatigue and bouts of extreme tiredness. So overall, I think this was a really positive state visit, hosting the Emir and his first wife. Of course, it would be remiss of me not to mention the kind of LGBT record of Qatar isn't great. The human rights record of Qatar is not great. But apparently the UK government regularly discusses, it says, with its Qatari counterparts, those issues. But I did want to say I have not forgotten about those issues. There were some protesters about this shouting at the Emir at one of the events as they went down the Mall, I believe it was. But yes, I just wanted to throw that in there, that I'm not saying Qatar is this perfect country, but I thought the state visit went very well. And on the UK royal family side, I think it was really good to see King Charles, Queen Camilla making it to the banquet, and of course the Prince of Wales does not get enough recognition, but he was there as well as Catherine making it to the welcome. They are who I focus on, but it was good to see that this state visit went off without a hitch really, except of course for that kind of negative side to that country. But yes, definitely wanted to mention that because it is a really important issue. But yes, let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. Did you see some of the footage for this state banquet? Have you seen King Charles's speech? Of course, I put some clips in the video earlier, but his full speech is on the royal family's YouTube channel as well, the royal family channel. But yes, let me know what you thought of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.